he got an Oscar.
Yes.
This year, I mean that last year, 2024, and the movie that he got Oscar for is called A Real Pain.
They had to watch it.
And it was shot here on this street. Actually, when you re-watch or watch it for the first time, they are standing here where you are, and they are watching this building, and then they are watching the wall that is just in front, because they are Jewish and they came here, you know, finding the Jewish roots and the Jewish heritage and the Jewish grandma. Guys, this is the Waliców Street. All the buildings on this side, they are original from the late 20th century. From the late 19th century, beginning of the 20th century. And the wall in front is also original. And here, this is a photo from this place back in 1940 when the ghetto was opened. So what do we have here? We have a street with a gate entrance over there where number 11 is. The trucks, the cars were coming from that direction. They were taking the street and they were entering the brewery, a beer factory of Mr. Jung. But the street was divided in two. Here, the cars, and here, pedestrians. This was Jewish Ghetto, this was outside the Jewish Ghetto. And here you see the wall and you see a fence. You will go to Kraków, yes? I've heard. So, normally, Germans, Nazi Germany, when they were opening ghettos for Jewish citizens, they were trying to locate them outside the city center, outside the downtown, because they wanted them to be not easily, seen by the rest of the society. They didn't want Jewish people to have it easy to escape. There are many reasons. But because the Jewish community of Warsaw was so big, 400,000 people, there was no way to open the ghetto any other place than here. In Kraków, Jewish people historically lived in a neighborhood called Kazimierz, but the ghetto was opened somewhere completely else, so all of them, they had to move to the ghetto. In Warsaw, quite the opposite. Jewish people were already here because 85% of the citizens of this neighborhood were Jewish. So Germans opened the ghetto in the city center. But this means that very important streets, very important institutions, and very important factories are inside of the ghetto. And I already spoke about the revisions. So the brewery, when they were selecting the streets to incorporate them to the ghetto, they decided that the brewery is too important. But the houses on the other side, they were inhabited by Jewish people. So the easiest way was to divide the street in two. That's why when we're gonna see the map of the ghetto, you will see that it's like a maze. It's not like a regular shaped ghetto. One street is inside, one street is outside. Sometimes even the patio, the courtyard of the house, half of it belongs to the ghetto, half of it does not. And this street is simply one of the best examples. So we are standing inside of the ghetto, but the gate that is there, number 11, was actually outside the ghetto. And from the 18th kilometers of the wall that was surrounding the ghetto, only 2 pieces has survived. One we will not visit because our tour would need to last like 4 hours in order to see everything. But this is the second part, the second piece, last standing piece of the ghetto wall. Shrapnels, bullets, the city fights. The wall is original from 1925. When the ghetto was closed, Polish people took weapons, and here, in this place, we had Warsaw Uprising. Warsaw Polish Uprising. So this is where the holes, the shrapnels are coming from. Is everything clear? Because it's not an easy story and not easy to understand what the ghetto was. Some people ask me, hey Magda, I want to visit the ghetto. I don't have time to hire a guide. Where should I go? And I'm like, where should I send them? I mean, go there. It was the biggest ghetto in the history of the Second World War, but you will not even recognize that you are visiting the ghetto because of all the modern construction. Yeah, this looks original and this looks old, but it's very difficult to find. Only 30 buildings survived the Second World War untouched, only from what the Jewish ghetto was. Guys, this is a heritage. We have the Ministry of Culture and Heritage, National Heritage, so it is protected by the Polish government, which means that as a historical monument cannot be destroyed. But the soil in this part of the city is very expensive. Come on, of course we want to build something here. So the company, they bought the place, they've built completely brand new posh apartments here, but they had to keep the wall untouched as a part of the local heritage. And this is where this chaos, the contrast is coming from, because we have a lot of monuments here, but we are also trying to turn them into something more useful for the current society. All good?